Okay, honestly, we started this meeting yesterday at 11 p.m. It's now 6 a.m. The sun is shining through the windows. Yeah, I get that, Jer. We've tried to come up with intros to conclude our home workout recording period of 3.5 months. And we've literally come up with nothing new, nothing exciting, and it's bothering me a lot. So what I want to do to conclude this session is I want to do one more round where we try to come up with our last thing we have in mind right now as an intro, and we can see if we can actually use that to give the people what they want. Because you guys are just sitting here doing nothing, and we've had hundreds of people watching these videos. They're expecting stuff from us. And even in 5 hours, like, your creativity is not really reaching very far. I need you guys to come up with one last thing. Jeremy, you're on first.
I mean, I have an awesome idea. Let's say we put out this light show, lasers everywhere. We're going to open up the roof. We're going to do Mission Impossible style. Get this cable where you come down. And
so first of all, the windows are not working currently. So let's change that.
All right, well then we just hang you up by a rope at the end and you just come down. Lasers everywhere. We're going to mimic this Mission Impossible style movie scene. PA, sound, everything.
Because you want me to edit this, then in the video, it's a lot of work. It's impossible for me.
You know what else outside a lot of work? I mean, we've spent tons of euros on just recording intros that take 20 seconds out of a 20-minute video, right? Yeah. So we're out of money for this one, man. Like, think again.
All right, then I'm out.
Kev,
what if you come across the screen with like a skateboard and you're like holding a rabbit? What? That's a good one, right?
We've been doing it for 3 months, and that's like the best you could come up with.
Yeah, a rabbit, man. Like it's not.
It's not even funny.
Yeah,
dude.
Well.
Like, the reason I'm laughing is because it's so bad. And it has also nothing to do with what we try to achieve here. We're trying to educate people and try to get them like fitter while being at home during a period where the entire world is upside down. Like, the word normal doesn't exist anymore, and you're gonna come up with fucking rabbits. It's also not nice using animals, to be honest.
That's a good point.
Abusing animals.
I have nothing right then. Now. I'm out.
Okay, so like, this piece of paper is still empty of intros, but this is going to be the last show, the last episode, and I actually think that I have the best idea that we've ever had in 3.5 months. So let's go along with that. Alright guys, another episode, another home workout. Me and Jem are ready. Kev is ready, the other Kev as well. We're gonna start off with a set of bottles, warming up the body with some double bottle front raises. Look at him. There we go. And what is he doing? He's raising the bottle in front of the body, big circle. Now what I don't want Jeremy to do, maybe he's gonna show you guys the bad example, is arching the hell of that lower back in the end position. Why? Because he thinks the bottles need to go up. No, I want him to keep the belly tight and then just see what the range of motion the shoulder can handle by going up. That's a good front raise. If this hurts, you go and decrease range of motion to something that feels good for you. Nice. Now Jeremy's got to put the bottles down, and without being in screen, he's going to run to the kitchen and grab his band, because his band is always in the kitchen. I don't know why. Now, he's going to fold that band. He's going to go on the floor. He's going to fold it around the knees, because we're going to get some glute bridges going with band tension. Now he's going to go right around the knees. He's going to go in his regular glute bridge stance, heels pressed into the floor, hips fold around the belly button. Let's go, Jeremy, give him the action. Now, just guys, simply telling you what happens here. There's elasticity on the band, so it's pulling your knees inwards. You are actively driving your knees into the band while making this motion of the glute bridge, which helps you activate the glutes. And that is probably the reason we're doing this, helping you to activate the glutes. Nice, Jer. If this is too heavy, guys, just ditch the band. If you don't have a band, you probably have to look at our bandless video. Ooh, I'm in a passive stance. I can't do that. Okay, so the third movement is going to be the A-frame toe touch. Jeremy is going to be in a plank on long arms, legs pressed into the floor. He's going to alternate lifting an arm, bringing it to the toe, coming back to a plank, switching arms every repetition, warming up the back of the body, glutes, hamstrings, everything's going to get nice and warmed up, even the ankles and the calves. And at the same time, working the abs a bit and getting some rotation of that spine going when he's doing that touching of the toe on the other side. Those are the 3 movements. We'll get back to you guys in a second. Okay, so it's going to be a longer warm-up here because it is 8 minutes in total. In that 8-minute time frame, you're going to run your way to 10 repetitions of the front raise to overhead, tight on the belly. Then 10 repetitions of the band glute bridge, and then following that with 10 repetitions of the A-frame toe touch. I did know it. Haha, 10 seconds. Three, two, one. Action. So Jeremy is going for that front raise. The idea is not to touch your toes. Not to touch your legs on the way down because it'll give you that bounce momentum. And you just want to make sure the shoulders are doing the work here, going as high as you can while maintaining a tight core and a long arm. Those two are going to be very important for you guys. Upon completion of the 10, you're going to go on your back. You're going to get that band looped, placed around the knees, and we're going to get those glutes to work. Reason we're doing this exercise actually is, first of all, it's important and it's nice helping you with hip extension, but also prepping the glutes because later on today, we'll be doing abduction walk, which is all about the glutes with the band there as well. So it's a nice way of warming up the system that we need later. There we go. It's 10 repetitions of that. And then we move on to A-frame toe touches. So band goes away. We move into our regular plank. We start alternating the touch of the toe every rep that we do. Switch the arms so we get some twisting of the spine in there as well. It's a nice little full body warm up. Abs get tight, lower body gets subtle and mobile. Getting you ready for the action. There we are, look at that going. So that is a longer type of warm-up. I think you should aim to do a good 4 rounds of this before moving on to the next part. If you want to make it 5, you go for it. It's never wrong to do a little bit extra on the warm-up. Rather do that than do less of the warm-up. Bye, see you back in a second. Our mobility part today has 8 intervals. Every interval is going to be set for run for 40 seconds. And then you're going to have about 15 seconds of transition time in between. We're going to have a leg movement, an arm movement, and an arm movement. That'll complete a round. We do 2 of that in total. Jeremy's already sitting on the floor, 1 leg extended, 1 leg across. We're going to do a glute stretch here for 40 seconds. So he's going to have 1 leg over the other, feet pressed next to the knee, as in as close to the body as possible. So what he's doing here, he's actually sitting his butt on the floor and grabbing his knee, pulling it as close to the body as possible to allow the glute to be stretched properly. There we go, that's the glute stretch. He's going to hold this for 40 seconds. It's a nice and passive way of stretching the glutes. There's no real dynamics in here, which is fine for now. And finally, the socks get their moment of attention. Good, 40 seconds of that, 10 more seconds to go, then 15 seconds of transition time. There we go. Get your leg over the other. Now, you can also ditch transition time and move on. I'm fine with that as well. And 3, 2, 1. Let's pull that knee towards the chest and get as much action going as possible. Now, what is important here is if you start pulling on that knee, you want to stretch the glute, you want to make sure you keep your hips squared. Because if your hips start to move in relationship to the shoulder, you're not really stretching out the glute, you're more or less stretching out the bottom of your back. So I really need you to stay in position while pulling that knee towards the body. That is very important here. And if you look at Jeremy's face, he's so serious about this. Because he knows that this stuff actually matters. This matters. Marshall matters. That's how much it matters. It matters like Marshall. Now he's going to go to the wall. Oof. Now on the wall, we're going to do a 1-arm wall stretcher. He's going to place an arm against the wall, about shoulder height, a little bit lower. He's going to reach and sit back with the hips, get his arms reach down. Now, the reason we're doing 1 arm, I just want him to focus on once for once. Or on 1 for 1. Or I want him to focus on 1 for once. You guys get it there. He's leaning. You can also play around with tension in the abs, yes or no. So when you relax the abs, The stretch goes to the lower back and lat area. If you tense the lower back or tense the abs, you go more into the upper back area. So T-spine is actually getting in some work there as well. He's going to stay for 10 more seconds on his one arm wall stretch before moving on to the other arm. And then we've actually just concluded one round, of which you guys will do 2 in total. Let me have a look at the clock. There's the beep. 15 seconds to... That's the other side. So pressed into the wall, sitting back, reaching down, doing what he needs to do, and doing what he does best, which is chilling. And if you're just like, hey guys, what's on the floor there? During the quarantine time, we actually had sheep running around here at UnScared. Three, 2, 1, beep. One more round for you, and then we'll do another workout. For the workout now, we're going to have actually some tough movements, and a concept that I designed for you guys with the interval time is going to make it very rough. Now we're going to start off with a weighted jumping jack for which you need bottles. So let's have a look at Jeremy doing the weighted jumping jack. Make sure the bottles are closed properly because otherwise you'll get a shower. Let's go, Jer. And there we go with the jumping jack, baby. Now, injury options. Very important. Now, if you cannot do this because of an apartment building, you're going through the drunk Backstreet Boy. And if you don't know what way to go, I think that I want it on that way. That's good. Or this way. Or I want it that way. This is the drunk Backstreet Boys, guy. Bring your knee up, bring your arms down, bring your arms up. I don't care what the order is, just do it the right way. Now, second movement. You're going to need a band, yeah? You're going to wrap that band, fold it, and place it around the knees. Because we're going to do the abduction walk. Here we go. Now, in the abduction walk, I do want to have him to go in like a stance, and that will allow him to almost sprint away when I ask him to do so. So like you want to make a broad jump from here. What he's going to do, he's going to bring one leg out, one leg in, and then you're going to go back and forth. One out, one back. Here we go, abduction walk. I always like to give you guys the cue to try to keep your toes pointed forward as much as possible and really drive your knees into the band. When you come in with the leg, make sure you keep pressing into that band. This will light up your glutes enormously, and that's why we will do this for a minute straight. If you have an injury, you should do this because it's probably going to help you with the injury. Ask the physio. They'll tell you the same. That was right. Now, third exercise is going to be, get out of the sun, the cross V-up. So go on the floor, arms, legs. Now it's going to be, both arms are going to be one arm up, one leg up, and then across. Let's go. Hacha, come back down. Other one, hacha. Arms back, leg, cross V up. Here we go. You meet each other in the middle, and you go across. Yeah, hands on the belly. You can rest, buddy. That's nice. That was good. You guys know what I did? I just set the timer. You know how I did it? I'll tell you. I set 16 intervals. You know for how long? For a minute straight. Rest, non-existing. First minute, you're going to do jumping jacks with bottles. A minute, unbroken. Into a minute of bend around the knees. Abduction walk. Keep the toes pointing forward as much as possible. Third minute, cross V up. This is the passed out Backstreet Boy that I'm doing right now, but I mean the cross V up. Fourth minute is resting. If you guys are still with me, Jeremy is still with me. He's not looking forward to this one, but he knows it's a good workout. And you know what he does when he thinks it's a good workout? He just goes for it. You should do the same. Starting in 10 seconds with weighted jumping jacks. You go for it, buddy. Luckily, you're not injured, so you don't have to do this drunk Backstreet Boy. Look at that. Pure enthusiasm. The good thing with the jumping jack guy, because it's such a fast movement, is if you do a minute of jumping jacks, you probably get way over 100 reps. And the bottles, I'll tell you what it is. What do the bottles add in this movement? Well, they add a pump, and it's not a little pump, it's big pump. Big pump forever. It's part of a song though. So staying very light-footed here, Jeremy. Just pressing away from the ankle, getting his calves warmed up nice. Range of motion can be decided upon choice. And then in 5 more seconds, you can stop now, Jerry, and start with the band stuff. Because on the beep, minute number 2 is on, which is grab the band, wrap it, push it around the knees. Be fast in your transitions, man. Let's go. And 1 minute. Now, guys, since there is no fixed rest time in between the intervals, you obviously have to choose where you're going to stop and when you're going to start around that beep. So you can, for example, stop with the jumping jacks 10 seconds before to allow yourself 10 seconds to get the band set to start with the minute of doing the abduction walk, but you can also cut that abduction walk 10 seconds short to get rid of the band, to get on the floor and do that 1 minute of cross V-ups. The only thing you cannot cut short is the cross V-up, because after that you have a minute of rest. You're already laying on the floor. So transition from being on the floor to resting is very simple. Here we go. Abduction walk. I know his glutes are on fire. He's trying to hide it, but it is true. Alright. The most exciting minute is going to come up right now. This is on the floor, on the back. Jamie's going to do that cross V-up, bringing right arm to left foot, starting out in that tall position, reaching. There we go. Good. There we go. Just trying to bring his upper body towards his leg while he's bringing his leg towards his upper body. It's sync movement, right? You're not just doing one thing. You're doing 2 things at the same time. You need to meet in the middle. It's an important rule here with the V-up. And you go and CrossFit it for a minute straight, guys. I will tell you, this will hurt the abs, definitely, but you get a minute of rest after this. So I need you to try to push for unbroken, because in 15 seconds from now, you're going to have a break. Keep going, come on, you can do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. And that was it.